Ran into a lot of infidelity this time. A lot of infidelity. Let's talk about it over there in Miami. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 1, and I believe this is episode 4 of Love and Hip Hop Miami. You know what? There was a whole lot of going on over here at Miami. Okay, and we're going to talk about it. But we start right off. Last week I was real tickled when I got done with this shit because Bucky, what is she not Bucky in this little thing? What is her damn name in this? Child Lil Ugly. Lil Ugly took a goddamn scoop of butter pecan honey and gave and bashed that goddamn gold digging ass Gabby upside of her goddamn cranium with some ice cream, baby, and left her with some cold goodness right up in between her eyes. So that's where we kind of left off. When we come back, she tried to throw her shit. It's like, no, girl, that's done. That's already been done. She already gave you Ice Princess, honey. She gave it to you already. Through this whole thing, Pleasure P is literally just sitting there looking like an idiot. And I'm looking at him like, really? Do you really believe that you're this dude? Like, you're not even going to try to fix what's actually going on. You're just going to sit around like you so sharp that bitches just start throwing ice cream over you. Like, really? Really, little fats? I said, child, if you don't carry your ass on out of here. I was just done with him at that point. Done. And the other little midget, that's his name, Little Baby, he was basically giving him some good advice and telling him, he's like, you got to fix this. This shit don't work. You got to figure out who you want to be with. He told me, you got to pick. It's going to be one or the other. You can't have this shit going on. I was like, all right, cool. Okay, so then next we actually see Malik and Jeffrey. And we went through this whole thing. We just met them last week. And we gathered, who was who. And, Malik was, like you kind of take to him because he's this person that's trying to find himself and he's just getting comfortable with his gayness. So, me being who I am, when it comes to the gay kids, I'm like, I have this soft spot for those people. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, all of this kind of carrying on. Then we got Jeffrey. And we got this whole thing. We're like, well, Jeffrey's so cute. He really was. He's just absolutely adorable, little brown boy, cute as he could be. And you're like, damn, he's really caught in a bad situation because he really still has feelings for Malik and all that. So it's like, damn, he's really caught between a rock and a hard place. Well, those feelings just went right the fuck over the balcony when I seen these two goddamn slick sidewinding sissies sitting on this balcony. Get ready to have, baby. That's what they was doing. Get ready to have. Okay, see, I ain't got no time for all that. I don't like liars. I don't like cheaters. I don't have any patience for either one. Neither one of these two bitches are any good as far as I'm concerned. Both of them ain't shit. Both cute. Both got lawyer shoes. Both ain't shit. You're sitting here. First of all, Malik, you're a fucking idiot. You're sitting there. He's one of the kind of butch queens that I really don't like because you putting yourself on a pedestal over top of this other type of gay bitch. You a sissy just like he a sissy. And in the real world, everybody views you all as the same thing. Faggot. That's what they view you as. It ain't no different. You're no different than I. And he went right into that little thing, and he couldn't even say, oh, you were somebody else. Oh, he feminine. What the fuck is feminine? What's feminine? You dumb motherfucker. What is that? You non-pronouncing a word ass sissy bitch. What is that? Feminine. Anyway, and then that whole, how could you like somebody like that over me? Girl. Why couldn't he like somebody like that over you? Are you serious? And then I'll tell you how he could like somebody like that over you, because Bobby actually does like him. Bobby really does like Jeffrey. You, bitch, you already know that he's with somebody, and you were so willing to compete in the dark for him, knowing that he belongs to somebody else. Bitch, you're not a person that's likable. You're not even trustworthy. Who would even have you? You're going to buy him gifts. And I mean, you're in a whole fucking pageant. The Miss I'm going to get Jeffrey pageant. And the other boy don't even know he's competing. That says a whole lot for your character right there. One, you are self-loathing, sneaky, side-winding, non-trustworthy cocksucker. That's what you are. So there you go. There's a couple things that you can work on as to why someone would choose somebody else over you. And it has nothing to do with them being feminine, dumb bitch. I was just too done. And then Jeffrey, are you serious? Are you serious? You'd have been told, see, we thought you were cute too, because you are. And nobody can take that away. But you have that one little thing going on that people who are cute generally have going on. You're used to people telling you you're cute, and then you think you can do whatever you want. You're not a very nice person, Jeffrey. You're not a very nice person at all. And you claim to be so into Bobby, and you were so in love with Bobby and all of this, that with one meeting out, you seen somebody that piqued your interest. One meeting out, and y'all supposed to be together for all this time. One meeting out, you snuck off, lied, and went to their house and screwed. And then went all the way into the realm. He screwed you so good that you went right into the realm of, now I'm going to choose whether or not I want to be with this other one. Really? No, Jeffrey, you ain't shit either, bitch. You ain't nothing but a goddamn opportunist is what I say. You're an opportunist. You were only not with Malik because Malik left your ass high and dry. And then you just dropped Bobby like a bad, well, you were ready to drop Bobby at like a bad habit and just go right on. But then I don't even know how you were going to do that. I don't know if you were going to try to play to both. It just seemed to me like you were going to try to get the best out of everybody that you can get. You're going to take all these gifts and the dick and all of that and still be stringing Bobby along as long as he don't know. That's what I got out of it. But Bobby picked right up on it and seeing, through what was going on, cussed your goddamn ass out and went on. I said, oh, you're interesting. I judged too fast. Y'all are the two types of gays that I really don't like. I was like, oh, wow. The two of y'all can go. Malik and Jeffrey, I'm pretty done with you two. Anyway, moving on. Fuckers. Amara, Steph LaCour, and Veronica Vega. I told y'all last week that I had some bad feelings about Veronica Vega, and I just didn't know exactly what they were. So I told you I didn't really care for all that little situation that happened with Veronica last week, where she basically made these different moves. I don't like what happened with Amara, this, that, thing, and the other. And they were going to approach Hollywood and basically get his ass together. And then he played this game of, I'll apologize to Amara if I get the chance to fuck Veronica. Veronica was basically with it as far as I was concerned. For me, that just didn't sit right. It didn't sit right. It gave me opportunities. It gave me thirsty. It gave me thirsty, dick hungry pig. That's what it gave me. So, whatever. So what comes around goes around. Okay? But anyway, so after it all went on, we sit down. Steph LaCour sat there, and she ended up being the middle person because Amara basically told Veronica, well, this is what I didn't like. It kind of hurt my feelings because, you said you were doing this stuff for me, but did you really do it for me, or was I like the joke? Because he only wants to apologize to me because he wants to get with you, and you entertain that, and that hurt my feelings, baby. And Veronica gave her, you're an ungrateful bitch. You're the one that brought the bullshit to us. So she basically went back on everything it was. Amara was exactly right, and so was I. She's not really your friend. She didn't really give a fuck about you. It was what it was. She really didn't care that he had did you that way. All she really cared about was there was something out of the deal that she could probably get. So, okay, I'll go with this. And this is cool too. And as long as I can jump up and down on his dick possibly, I'll be cool with it. And that's what I got. And I got a vibe of something like that from Veronica. And I didn't like it last week. And I said, she seems self-centered and shady to me. And I was right. And then you popped off. And when you popped off, you told your true feelings. You told fake bitch. You didn't really give a fuck. You weren't really a friend. You didn't give a fuck. And the thing is, you could have actually been a friend that didn't give a fuck and just sat in the don't give a fuck lane, as opposed to jumping on the friendship lane and, yeah, we're going to get them together. And then when you seen him, you was like, oh, child, I'll get my mouth on him, honey. Bitch, you ain't shit. You a self-serving, old, shady bitch. I don't care for all that. So that's what I saw. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. Because just remember, Veronica Vega, bitch. What comes around fucking goes around. And her and Amara had a big blowout. Amara ended up walking out and called her a bitch back. And I didn't even understand how she went that way with Amara. Like, she really flew off there. I was like, there's a little jealousy there, Blondie, but okay, whatever. She goes on about her way. So next we see Miami Tip and Kiara. They're out. I said, okay, so Kiara, you a tramp. You're a tramp. You were going through all these different changes because you thought Gunplay was going to cheat on you and all of this. But now you show your true colors because you're going to beat him to it. You're going to beat him to it. You done went and approached Miami Tip. She told you, no, girl, I'll suck your pussy. Girl, I'll suck your pussy. And you was like, yeah, bitch. So next thing I know, you just snuck out and slid around and you got yourself and you hanging out. Now you hanging with Miami Tip so you could make sure that she ends up falling into your pussy one day. So you went from being afraid that he was going to disrespect you and cheat on you to this whole thing of, I bet I beat you to it. And the next thing you know, Gunplay shows up at the club. And then y'all have this whole little thing back and forth. And then he ends up telling you some older shit. He ends up telling you, like, what are you doing? And she's like, yeah, she want me. She don't want you. Now y'all in a competition? How'd that work? And he ain't like it too much. And he really did switch on. You know, his little ego was bruised. You know how men are. They can dish it, but they can't take it. His ego was bruised. And he fucking told you, and he had you looking foolish out there in them streets. Bitch, I don't know what you thought you was breaking it up with your big fat stankin' ass, but you wasn't. He broke you up, bitch. When he told you, well, what do you think you did? What do you think you accomplished? She is my sloppy seconds. And if you don't think that lets you have it, and you still twirled on off with her like that, he made it very clear, honey, I've stuck it real hard and made it gushy, and now you're going to get it all in your mouth. And you think you did something? Sloppy seconds, baby. I said, girl, he just read the fuck out of you. And she went on off with her stinking ass, and I said, my. And the bad part was, even in the midst of all that, I think he was still willing to play a third leg or the only leg in that play. And I believe the two of you nasty whores would allow him. He kind of cute. So he kind of cute. There's some things that he has to have straightened up. Later on, Gunplay was talking to Trick Daddy, and they were talking about the whole thing that's going on with him and Joy and all of that. And I'm sitting there looking, and I kept looking at Trick Daddy, and I'm saying, oh my God, Trick Daddy looks like somebody I know. And I've been looking at him, and I couldn't really put my hand on it. And it came to me tonight exactly who Trick Daddy looks like. And Trick Daddy actually puts me in mind of Lady Nika. He does. He put even his mannerisms, the way he says things, and how fast he is, and how curt he is, and how he says different things. I was like, oh my gosh, he reminds me of Lady Nika. He really does. Everything about him reminds me of Nika. I was like, all right. So that's what it was. That's what it was hanging over me for the last couple of weeks. But Trick Daddy puts me in mind of Lady Nika. Anyway, but I'm sitting there and I'm watching Trick and Gunplay, and I'm looking at Gunplay and I'm saying, man, he really has a whole sexy thing about him, but I just want to cut that shit basket off his head. He had all his hair pulled back, and then he had the dreads were like wrapped around. He had like this updo, and I just said I could just really take some scissors. Well, I probably wouldn't need clippers, and just go right across the back and just take the shit basket off, and then I could fix the rest of it because his hair is like nice, like he has nice hair, but that shit basket that he has, I just can't deal with. I can deal with everything else. We can straighten that motherfucker up with everything else. Just can't fuck with that shit basket, though. That shit basket looked like it got something living in it. But anyway, so that's that. Trina actually sat down with Trick Daddy and Alvin. And I was kind of glad to see this thing because a lot of people see, and it's a shame because, you know, I'm falling into this thing where I'm falling onto Team Bobby Light. And Bobby is so extra. He really is. He's so extra, but he's getting such a shitty deal. And he has some things definitely that he needs to change. He definitely has some things he needs to change. He has some things where, and I've addressed those things, like you don't need to be calling people minions and shit like that because you ain't shit yet, Bobby. But you're getting a fucked up deal on this show. So I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm getting to be Team Bobby. But Alvin sat down there and everybody was praising Alvin. Alvin was cool. I didn't like the way they didn't like the way that Alvin has spoken about Bobby, and Trina didn't correct him. Y'all remember that from the first episode. But everybody chose Alvin over Bobby. Oh, he's not as extra as Bobby. Honey, Alvin is just as, if not more extra than Bobby. And we saw that tonight. He sat down there and everybody was just chilling. And he came in there, he was so fucking turned up. And Trick Daddy kept looking over there at him like, honey, what is this sissy gift? Where does sissy come from? What is he giving? And it was really off-putting because it was like, Alvin, wait a minute. You know, see, again, I don't have a problem with you being the most effeminate. See, because that's the word. Effeminate, not feminine. Like that dumbass fucking Malik. It's effeminate. Okay? Or feminine. You know? Not feminine, dumbass. But anyway, I don't have a problem with any of that. You know, I encompass that. I am a lot of those things. So I have no problem with that. But all this extra, you weren't that way episode 1, and now you done came back with Bobby's whole persona, and you're carrying on, and nobody's even in a mood where they're carrying on. It wasn't even a carrying on type of setting, and you're going on and you're talking shit about Bobby again. And Trina, bitch, you're sitting over there with your long head ass allowing it yet again. Oh, well, I don't really like that. Well, bitch, say something. You ain't say nothing. Trick Daddy sat right there and said, what's up with him? And then she's telling him, you know, he got an issue with my cousin. He's like, your cousin Bobby? And she's like, yeah. And Trick said this out of his mouth. My money's on your cousin Bobby. Me too, Trick. Me too. My money's on Bobby too. And guess what? From what I'm seeing here, I'm actually kind of excited to see the next time they have a run-in. And I hope Bobby smacks the shit out of Alvin again. Yep. And that's how I feel moving on. Yeah, Trina's getting on my nerves. Trina trying to be all messed up, all in the mess of, she's trying to be in the mess between Joy and Trick. And you see Trick shut her ass down, told her, mind your business. Mind your goddamn business. Mind your goddamn long-headed business now. Go on and play. Don't play. Don't do that. Don't do that. I said, okay. All right, so let's talk about Prince and Gabby, the other resident sissy on the show. So Prince is really messy. Prince just does whatever Prince wants to do. Prince knows Gabby. Okay, so Gabby's all pissed off with Pleasure P because Pleasure P basically dismissed the hell out of her, and he basically shelved her. After the stuff that happened, she got the ice cream in the forehead. He ain't contacted her back, so he's taking Blue's advice, I guess, and he made his choice. And I guess his choice is a little ugly, and he just then shelved Gabby, and she ain't here for it. She got to get on to the next thing. So we found out that Prince and Gabby, her mom knows his uncle or some old bullshit. When it got down to the end of it, it was, I'm having a show, a fashion show. You should come and model for me. And then also, I got these brand new sheets. You should let me screw you real fast too while we at it. And I'm laughing because I'm saying, Mona, is this just for us? Because I don't know what it is. Something about Lil Prince tells me that he'd rather be screwed on the white sheets as opposed to screwing somebody on the white sheets. But I could be wrong. But whatever. So they led us to believe that Princess and Gabby went out and they kind of hung out all night. And then he ends up taking his little self with his two little jeans. He always wears these little tight two little jeans. And he goes back and took his good boots off, and he's over there laying on Liz's couch. And Liz showed her goddamn ass. Liz said, where you been all night? Oh, I was out with Gabby. She's like, oh, hell no. Who the fuck is Gabby? And he's, she's my friend. Instead of, okay, take your friendly ass, get out my house. She put him out, took his clothes, threw him out the window and all that shit. Then she had some other stuff. Couple other shirts that she got from down to the Goodwill, threw them in the tub and threw some bleach on them. I said, Mona, stop that. Stop that. But so we're supposed to believe she bleached his clothes. But she threw the good shit out the window. Anyway, because Goodwill, that queen would have fought her, baby, if he thought she was really putting bleach on his real good shit, honey. We'd have seen Princess, honey, instead of the prince. Anyway, moving on. So that was just some bullshit. Later on, Lil Ugly, Liz, and Michelle Pooch meet up. Found out Liz and Michelle are good friends. They became friends one night, and that's that. Liz has always held that back from Prince because, of course, they have that rivalry going. But they're good friends. And then she meets Shay. And they're telling each other about their little situation that neither one of them know that they're actually talking about the same stinking ass gold digging Gabby bitch. But they have this whole thing where they're like, okay, they got a girl code going on. Girl, let's go crash Prince's fashion show. So they're like, okay, good, no problem. I'm all in. I said, okay. So they go ahead and they go to the fashion show. There was a whole lot that went on with this fashion show, okay? We go down to the fashion show. They get there. They figure out that Gabby is the slut. They both figure that out. They're like, oh, well, we're going to get this bitch tonight. We're going to get her. And that's all there's to it. We're going to get her. Michelle Pooch is like, okay, y'all can't make no scene at this thing in front of all these people because we all have, something to lose. And I really can't do this with my brand. And they're like, we're getting her. Like that. We're getting her. So that was that. So just hold on to that for a minute. The models are actually showing up. We also see, remember we seen that other bitch that looked like the cat lady, that she looked like a scene from, what is the movie? I can't think of the name right now. But they look like cat people. They look like cat people. It's a Stephen King movie. I just can't think of it. It'll come to me. But they look like cats in the face, real ugly. But this is where we seen her. She was actually a friend of, who was she with? We met her in one of the other episodes. She was with somebody else. But anyway, it's Chinese Nikki and her mammy Chinese Kitty. And it's like a mother-daughter kind of stripper thing going on. And I'm kind of looking at them and I'm like, ooh, you got too much work. Your mammy got too much work. Y'all both look ridiculous. But they're like mother-daughter mess. And I think they're like some type of IG celebs. Too much work, too much shit going on. But they were there. They were actually models as well. So that was, yeah, interesting. So we got that going on. They're there as well. Steph LaCour, Veronica Vega, and also JoJo actually show up. Same time as the fashion show, there's another event that Steph LaCour performed at going on at the same time at a different location. What ends up happening there, this was the shit right here. What ends up happening there is Steph LaCour performs. Amara didn't show up because she didn't want to be bothered because she's still pissed off with Veronica. Okay? So Veronica comes backstage. JoJo comes backstage. They're just chit-chatting and chatting it up. And then Hollywood comes backstage because he's been invited too. Here's Steph LaCour done jumped in. Now she's getting ready to do some work with Hollywood. But Amara knew nothing about that, and neither did Veronica Vega. Veronica Vega felt some kind of way because she's like, wait a minute, all this shit went on. You know, she feels some kind of way because I believe she has either already given Hollywood her pussy or had real intentions about giving him her pussy. And Steph LaCour had to step across that line, and she don't know what's going on. She don't know whether he's screwing Steph or they're just planning to work together or what's really going on. But she took offense to it. And she's like, well, wait a minute, Steph. Now, me and Amara are arguing like a motherfucker, and you sat right there in the middle, and you never said that you had any previous dealing with Hollywood. What's up with that? That's kind of messed up. So then they start going back and forth. She's like, well, no. I wasn't getting in that. I just didn't want y'all to be going at it. So Hollywood jumps in and he's saying, you know, this, that, and the other. And he's going back into this whole thing of how Amara is ridiculous for even getting it all started, this, that, and the other. Baby, and then JoJo told them, hold it. I think he's grimy and he's a smooth mover. And I don't really care for this. And I don't like the fact that you all of you, are talking about Amara behind her back and she's not here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and remove myself because I ain't got none of this to do. Y'all some messy bitches right now. I said I told y'all I like JoJo, didn't I? And the bitch was clean as a motherfucker at that function too. That JoJo got on that. And I swear she's probably the youngest of all of them. But she just removed herself, called them on their bullshit, and bounced. I said, come on, JoJo. We're Team JoJo. Team JoJo around this mug. I was like, all right. So I laughed. I said, look at how that works. See how that karma works? Now, Veronica, you feel the same way that Amara feel. You feel like you got thrown to the side and your friend didn't have your back. But see, it was a mess. I said, y'all all playing these games about this little raggedy little square box built man. Veronica wants the dicks. Steph LaCour wants the beats. When really all anybody should give is take and give Hollywood an ass whooping. That's all that should actually be given out in actuality. Moving on. So last thing. Okay, so let's go back over to the fashion show. So they had this little fashion show. Let me tell you about these jeans. It was a line of jeans that Princess had put together. Them jeans are trash. Trash. Sheer trash. Cheap. Thin ass, stonewashed looking material. That shit was some garbage. It was some straight up garbage. I said, is this some Old Navy shit? It was total garbage. Total trash. The fashion show was late. The jeans ain't got no style to them. They all look just alike. Look like mom jeans. High-waisted bullshit. One had a little slit. I said, that if you don't get out of here with them $10 jeans, child. Mona, stop it. Anyway. So they get backstage, they confront Gabby, they have a back and forth. Shay is on one side, Shay and Liz are on one side of the table. Old goddamn gold digging Gabby's on the other side of the table. And Chinese, I'm going to say it's Chinese Kitty. I think Chinese Kitty is the young one. She just inserted herself. So that's when Little Ugly was like, oh, you got backup? That's not going to help you, girl. I'll fuck you up. And they're throwing drinks back and forth and shit and all of this. And they're breaking them up. And they had already said, that damn Shay will say Chinese Nikki, I think is the other one, call her grandma. I said, Lord have mercy. But anyway, they were breaking them apart. And the last thing we actually seen the mother actually steal on one of them. I think it was Liz that she ended up grabbing her by her hair. I said, no, she didn't sneak her. I said, what kind of shit is that? That old bitch. So that was the last thing we saw. And we'll get to the rest of it next week. You see how long this thing got. But anyway, it was a pretty good episode. But I said, no, this old bitch with all this Silicon Valley up in her face over there doing some fighting and hitting and acting like Shoot Lucy from Off of Married to Medicine. A mess. A mess. I'll talk to y'all next Monday.